Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Chat with Russtek. My name is Nick Russell, and I am the owner of Russtek Media. Now, welcome back to the relaunch of Let's Chat with Russtek. We have been gone for a little bit, and we apologize for that, but the reason we were gone was we were working on building a brand new website for you. Some of you may have found this podcast there. Also, we are looking into different ways to do this podcast, record this podcast. We still have one more piece to the puzzle coming. It's an actual brand new webcam that's going to be coming, because for those of you that are watching this right now, we are also putting this podcast up on YouTube. So there will be a Russtek Media YouTube channel. So a bunch of very exciting things that have been happening around the office, and we're happy to start implementing some of these fun little features and things for you. So what I wanted to talk to you today when we are relaunching our podcast, I wanted to talk about wasting time versus investing time. Now, I've had so many different conversations with people, and people have been getting into ruts, it seems like, in lots of it. And I'm one of them. I'm not perfect. I've gone into ruts before, bouts of imposter syndrome, things like that. But I really want to focus today on talking about wasting time versus investing time. Now, what do I mean by wasting time? Wasting time is watching Netflix, playing too many video games, getting involved way too much in social media. And now, what do I mean by that? Like, this is what we do. We're all about social media. There comes a point in time when you spend too much time just browsing and commenting, and it's not really moving you forward or moving your business forward. So spending time on social media that way is considered wasting time. Now, we'll get a little bit into that a little bit down the road, different ways to break that habit. But and then one of the biggest ways to waste time is comparing yourselves to others. Now, this is something I learned many, many, many years ago, and I always looked up to certain people, and that's a good thing. But if you compare yourself to them, to anybody else, you see business A over here, and you try to do everything the way they do it. Well, for one, you don't want to copy them. It's okay to model certain things, but you don't want to copy anybody. But if you look directly at this person over here from company A and you see how well they're doing great. But if you start comparing yourself to them, you're never ever going to get to that level, because you want to be more like them and less like you. If you be yourself, trust me, you're going to get there. It's not going to look exactly like company. It's going to be your own thing, your own way. Now, let's talk about investing time, ways that you can invest your time properly to grow. Video courses, webinars, things like that are in your line of work. Take as many of those as you can. Learn as much as you can. Actual networking events, getting out of the office, getting out of the house, and meeting people. This, for me personally, it's one of my favorite things to do. I love getting out. I can be introverted a little bit, but I love being out. I love meeting people and chatting over a beverage. That's my favorite way to get out and network and meet people. There are many other ways, like LinkedIn, using social media, things like that, but getting out, that's investing your time wisely. And improving and learning new skills, improving skills that you already have. So, for example, if you are doing task A, you've been doing it for so long, and taking that webinar, getting back into the video courses, doing a webinar, a masterclass, something like that, and improve on your skills. Always grow, learn, and always get better. And for those of you that don't own your own business and want to grow, starting up a side hustle, that's something that's going to invest you're investing your time wisely in. if you have the drive, the passion, and the time, definitely start a side hustle. Leave your 9 to 5, get home, have dinner, and then sit back down. I know a lot of people that do that, and they're thriving, and it's really cool. And the other really cool thing, read books. Always pick up a brand new book. And this is something that took me a very long time to get into. It wasn't until last year that I really started reading. The last book before that was just a fictional book. I bet you it took me 2 years to read this book. Like, I was just not a reader other than comic books. But that's not what I'm talking about, reading, investing your time properly. You can read comic books or whatever it is, but don't spend too much time with it, right? So read books, something like Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It, Russell Brunson's .com Secrets or Expert Secrets, Martin Lindstrom's Biology. Tim Ferriss has some great books, things like that. Stuff that's going to help you grow personally and professionally. Those are things that you want to invest in to help better yourself and your company. Now, I want to circle back a little bit. I was talking about spending time on social media. Now, we're all on social media, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be, doing your Instagram stories, posting, stuff like that. I do it, everybody does it, and that's okay. Instagram, for example, has a really cool feature. You can actually see how much time you're spending online. Now, that's something really good. Take your phones out as soon as you're done listening to this podcast. Take a look at your phone and see exactly how much time you're spending on Instagram and what times. Are you spending more in the morning, afternoon, at nighttime? Find out when and see if you can break that habit a little bit. So for me personally, I actually set aside time in my schedule to look over my social feeds. So the first thing I do when I get up at 5 in the morning. I look at my social feeds for about a half an hour just to kind of get up, wake up, get my mind going again. I have my big jug of water that I pound back. And then right after that, usually around that 5:30 mark, I start to read. I read from about 5:30 till about 7-ish, 7:30. That's when I get up, get ready, and then get ready to start the day and go forward. So that's something I'm doing to invest my time wisely. The half an hour in the morning that I'm doing my social feeds, it's when I first wake up, it's not really affecting too much. Then I start reading, and then I start my day. Then I also have a block for my quote-unquote lunchtime. When I actually do get time to have lunch, that's when I take a look at social feeds again. So hopefully that helped you. If you have any questions at all about wasting time, investing time, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So head over to our Facebook page, Russtek Media, so www.facebook.com/Russtek Media. Head there, comment on our podcast post, and let me know what you thought about that. And stay tuned. Next week, we have a very special episode. We got a very special guest that we're going to chat with. So have an amazing week, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Let's chat.